Yeah, I do have a question about being an amateur fighter. When to become a professional? I mean, I know boxers, amateur boxers go to 30, 40 amateur fights before they turn pro. What do you think?
You know, it's really different for MMA because guys start at such different times in their life. Whereas a lot of amateur boxers start young, and so they get a lot of experience as early teenagers and in their early 20s. Whereas MMA guys sometimes even start in their 30s, and it's just a different skill set. You could be a black belt in jiu-jitsu with no striking experience and be a successful pro and get better in time. Whereas when it's any one martial art, or any one style, like boxing, you gotta be good at boxing to be a pro boxing, or else you're gonna get beat up. That's gonna show. Whereas in MMA, there's a lot of different avenues you can take to win a fight: striking, grappling, wrestling. Patterson is in the cage. Also in terms of when to go pro, experience plays a big factor. Props to Steve Garcia here. It looks like he used his love of mixed martial arts in competition to lose a lot of weight. Fighting now as a welterweight. Really good to see. Mikey starting this fight quick with some jabs, finding his range. So one of the few rules differences for an amateur MMA fight and a pro MMA fight is you're not allowed to throw reinforced knees to the head. You can't pull somebody's head into a knee. So you saw Garcia pull Mikey into a knee, but it was to the body. You're also not allowed to elbow, nor can you heel hook. Still very dangerous, but they take out the super dangerous activities. It's a good left hand lander by Garcia. Big slam there by Garcia. Right into a triangle choke though. Mikey's got some good groundwork. So Garcia's doing a good job cutting an angle. He needs to keep circling. His head is almost out. This is a big turning point for the submission right here. When his head popped out, he's still potentially in the risk to get armbarred, but it'd be hard. Let's see if Mikey can't reload this triangle choke. He's keeping his left leg in the right position to potentially pivot right with his hips so he can square back up and then get his left foot under his right knee. There we go. And Garcia doing a good job clearing that leg. He was still in danger there. It was good he was able to clear the position entirely and get the top side control. Garcia with a smooth transition to mount. So as soon as Patterson grips break, Garcia's going to posture up and punch. And Patterson needs to get his hands on Garcia's hips instantly to create some space. So a good way to slow someone down from punching, but it's just going to buy you time. Mikey needs to focus on clearing the hooks, which he did, and he ends up on top. I know Patterson also has a cardio for days. The longer this fight goes, the more favor will swing at his side. That was a big knee from Garcia there. Some good dirty boxing work from both guys. Now I know they practice judo at ACS. This would be a good potential chance to hit an Uchimata, which he performs beautifully, ends up on top. That was an excellent throw. Uchimata is a technique from judo, and it translates to inner thigh throw. It's very common in the over-under fight for MMA. It's always fun to see judo in fights. I should stand corrected. There's no elbows to the head in amateur fights. Sometimes you let elbow to anything but the head. Patterson helping his partner up. That's a good first round. You know, they say in boxing you hit him with your fist, in kickboxing you hit him with your feet, in judo you hit him with a planet. Some big throws. And they're rare to see. That was a great throw from Mikey Patterson there. You know, Patterson, he does have 4 losses on his record, but I'm looking at his record now, and they're to really, really good guys. The last guy he just fought for the belt, Kendall Lewis, went pro. You know, he was also very promising. You know, he beat Rusty Turley in the fight before that. I want to say that was for the belt that he won, then defended against Lewis and lost, and now he's fighting for it again. And then his second most recent loss, Douglas Hernandez Garcia, that guy was also a monster. He was also a judo practitioner himself. Not too sure if he went pro yet, though. Mikey's comfortable.
Yeah, Mr. Garcia, he's still got good cardio. Seems like he's still in it to win it.
Yeah, you know, wrestling does use a tremendous amount of energy, and he wrestled a lot that first round. Oh, Mikey seems to be coming alive.
Is that sometimes a strategy, just letting that first round go?
On a 5-round fight, I mean, yeah, that's the time to really find your range, try to pick up on your partner's mannerisms. If you try to go in for the kill right off the bat, then you're going to gas and you still have the majority of the fight left. Pacing's very important. Mikey's got his hands together on a single. We'll see if he can't get his hips in. Hit a lift. He transitions right to a double. Garcia does a good job getting a quick underhook. Garcia used a front headlock to create some space. Oh, Patterson lands a high kick. He gets taken down, but Garcia's back in that well in a potential triangle. Garcia's got to not let Mikey get his right leg out. If that right leg frees, he's going to have to fight that choke off again. Because triangle choke, you use your legs to choke your opponent's neck. The legs are a lot stronger than her neck. Garcia has good awareness in the guard, though. And he hits that same angle to get his head free.
I don't see any rust with this guy.
You know, no, I didn't know his style. He's got a really sharp grappling. You know, he's at a Metro. Those guys are very well rounded. A few guys fighting for Metro tonight on our pro card. Go to 4.
Dude.
So Mikey's going to get his right arm under Garcia's waist. He's got to get an underhook from this half guard position. Yeah, instead, he's able to post up to his feet and free his hips without the underhook. Which is hard to do. Props to him, and then he gets his underhook right after. That was a good trip. Just an outside trip. He ended up hitting the takedown, but having a scramble to secure the top position, which he does successfully. And now he's riding mount. I know he doesn't have too much time left. This is the time to do some damage. He's looking for some shots. Man, Garcia, you know, leaves his face exposed to try to escape, which is the thing to do, but if it doesn't work, you're going to get your back up, and that's what happened here. This can sometimes be tough on morale, the back to mount transition loop you can get caught in. You know, you add punches in the mix, and it can make for a tough night. Garcia's doing a good job staying composed. you know, as is Patterson. He's riding that back take really well. He's picking his shots. You know, this is the time where you try to find as much leverage as possible to land some punches, even if that means losing position, because the round will be over in the next few seconds. Again, that was enough. That outside trip. Again, it's the judo that set that round apart. You know, and Steve Garcia is showing some phenomenal grappling. But I think Patterson is just staying a little more offensive and staying in better positions for longer. And Patterson up 2 rounds. You know, this is only Steve Garcia's second fight, too. He's doing a great job. He seems very composed. And he seems like he really knows his style, which is something a lot of guys don't find for a while. Round 3 coming up. And Mikey looking fresh. Nice, so notice went southpaw there and used that to set up that lead leg trip. I don't know about half the judo names, so bear with me there. He ends up on top and guard. I always personally preferred trips myself from the over-under, opposed to a more direct wrestling strategy, just because wrestling, though has a higher success rate, requires a lot more energy and a lot more effort. So Garcia's looking for a Kimura, but from an open half guard, even if he was able to lock his grip, it'd be very hard to control the rest of Mikey. I think he needs to focus on fighting for a frame and position. You know, half guard's a particular position in MMA. In jiu-jitsu, it's not a bad spot to kind of collect your thoughts and stall your partner. But in MMA, top half guard is good, bottom half guard is bad. Because it's even harder to get up than from side control because one of your legs is pinned. You do have a chance to sweep, but you know, with no shirts on and the blood and the sweat, that underhook escape from side control is more efficient than sweeps from bottom half guard. Unless you're a world-class grappler, which guys pull that off all the time in UFC. But it's hard to do. So this would be a good time for Patterson to maybe slide Garcia's head towards the cage and use the cage to pin him on his back so he can land some punches. Patterson wastes no time throwing big shots. If he lands something flush, he could get a finish here. He's got a lot of leverage. You can see he's putting all of his body weight into those punches. Oh wow, what a fun scramble. And Garcia dropped down for a guillotine there. That's where a bit of inexperience showed. You know, Garcia doing a good job keeping his composure. He actively fights for position as he's getting punched. He doesn't cover. He just focuses on finishing the scramble, which is hard. He does it well. He's kept himself out of further danger because of it. Mickey is having a lot of top time in this third round. It looks like he's going for a, I think it's a rear naked choke or a head down choke. I believe he's going for a rear naked choke. He didn't have both hooks in, he didn't have the best angle. I think he knew the round was close to being finished. You know, Garcia's tough. I don't see him tapping with a few seconds left. He knew how to grapple. And Patterson did a good job. Stopping instantly. You know, it's always fun to see these championship rounds. You want to be the best in the division for a promotion, you gotta be willing to fight a couple more rounds than normal. You know, Mikey was on top a lot that round. Not a crazy amount of output, minus that one awesome scramble. So I'll bet you Mikey comes out active in this 4th round. So it seems as if Garcia has used more grappling as a strategy to win. But I'd say he's down those 3 rounds. He needs a finish. That's generally when a puncher's chance comes into play. It's hard to fall into a sub. See what his coaches told him to do. Oh, and yeah, he threw a big right. He used it to tie up. But the right hand actually landed well. Patterson showed it in his face. Really good timing on a single leg there for Mikey. Oh, Garcia was out on a deep Kimura, but Mikey rolls through. So once Mikey rolled through and made Garcia lose the position, that's what it means to lose that Kimura grip. He went for a good sub. It was worth the risk. He lost it. That's when you got to bail. He almost got his back taken 4 on the feet. Another really good single there from Patterson. And Garcia has some go-tos. He's fighting the hips. He's looking for that Kimura grip. Patterson stands, showing a lot of support, cheering him on. So again, Garcia did a good job at getting off of his back, but you cannot stop here in 30. You got to get back up to your feet and fight your opponent's hands. There's a few different stages to these get-ups, and you can't stop until you are up and out. And Garcia actually did that well. Got to use that underhook, that left underhook, to try to turn Patterson. And then create some space or pummel to the inside to set up a takedown. Patterson needs to grab his hand. You can tell Garcia grapples a lot. He's got the submissions he likes. He could finish this Kimura. It's not as good a position as I think Patterson could hope for at the end of that takedown. Garcia transitioning from the Kimura to an armbar to a triangle. There's great jiu-jitsu right there. So we'll see if...
I'm actually impressed with Garcia.
Oh, wow.
Got it.
That was some excellent jiu-jitsu right there.
Mr. Patterson giving him good sportsmanship. Congratulations.
That was some slick grappling. That was some strong transition work. And you see Patterson, when it got finished, takes his partner's hand up, walking around the cage. You don't see sportsmanship that gets much better than that. Patterson's a fun guy to have on the scene. And huge props to Steve Garcia there. Coming alive late in the fight and chaining some submissions together. That was some impressive Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu right there. I'd be curious to know Garcia's time training. Some super cool guys here.